How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. I just got done with an awesome interview that I will show you here in a second with the co-founder of Unstoppable Domains. Now, we're going to get into what they are here in a second, but they offer decentralized websites and also blockchain-based domain names that replace the long addresses for cryptocurrency wallets. So we're going to get into it in a second, but take a look at some of the applications and some of the companies that they are working with. Coinbase Wallet, Blockchain.com, Bitcoin Wallet, Chainlink. So they are well trusted among the community, and we were able to talk with the co-founder here today. Now, he talks about cryptocurrencies in general, where he thinks the whole crypto market will be in 5 to 10 years. He talks about what they are doing to help change the community and change the world. Now, there is a little bit of static, so I will apologize for that, but if you could have listened to an interview about Bitcoin 5 years ago and there's a little bit of static, I think it would have been well worth listening to. So definitely stay through to the end. If you guys don't mind hitting the like button, definitely do that. Also, all the information for Unstoppable Domains is underneath the video in case you want to sign up and get your domain today. Brad is the co-founder of Unstoppable Domains. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks a bunch for having me.
Yeah, definitely. So first of all, I think a lot of people just want to know, can you tell us a little bit about your platform?
Sure. So Unstoppable Domains builds domain names on blockchains. And so domains are NFTs. They're stored inside of your crypto wallet, just like any other NFT. Very different than a traditional domain, which is stored by a company like GoDaddy that you don't control. And so the idea is that you use them to receive crypto. You can send me money to brad.crypto, show off your content on the decentralized web. You can check out my decentralized website, the brad.crypto. You can see my NFT art gallery. And I'm going to be able to log into apps using my domain name, have it kind of like my decentralized identity.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love just how much easier it is to use with what you guys are doing. So how did this all get started? How did you start the company?
So this idea of replacing long crypto addresses with a name, it was inspired by DNS, the way that it works with traditional domains and IP addresses. And this idea has been floating around the crypto world since like 2011-ish. I remember talking to my co-founder about it before Ethereum launched. And what happened is that when Ethereum went live and Ethereum started getting good, the tooling around smart contracts started getting good, you could start launching real apps and real companies. Then all of these ideas that had been thought about, believed, promised for a really long time became possible. And so Matt, our founder, had digested this problem and thought about this problem for a while. It was just, hey, now it's finally possible. So let's go make it happen. Let's go make crypto easier to use.
Yeah, definitely. So that is what I really think the platform does, is it just makes crypto easier and simpler for users. I know personally when I started sending and receiving crypto, it's kind of confusing, right? Trying to make sure that you have the right address, knowing that it's gone if you don't have the right address. So can you explain maybe some of the problems that it solves for crypto users?
The main thing that people say to us when we're asking about what are the issues with sending crypto right now, they say that it's scary. That's the term that people use the most. And so, did I get the address exactly right? Is this going to be gone? Am I just sending into some void, or am I sending to the actual person that I intended to? And the domain name helps to solve that. But you can actually go even further. So you can have your domain name. You can point it to all your crypto addresses. Make it super easy for me to send Bitcoin or ETH or any other cryptocurrency that you want, all to this one domain name. You can also, using an Oracle, company called Chainlink that builds oracles, you can verify and attach your social media handles to your domain, like Twitter. And this is getting a lot closer to the way that it works right now with traditional payments. Like if I go into Venmo and I want to pay you, I'm probably going to see a picture. There's going to be a name, there's going to be a picture, and there's probably going to be like a social media link or something that I can go and check to verify that I'm sending to the right person. Crypto doesn't have any of this stuff. And we don't want to have a Venmo version where you have to go and use their app to do this. But if you as the user can attach all this information yourself, and then any app that I are using, we can see this stuff. But now it's starting to become super powerful, and crypto needs to get at least as good as the traditional payment rails at some of these key things. And one of those is making sure you're sending the right person.
Definitely. Yeah, I agree with all that. Now, a lot of the time, I think people will want to know, okay, what's the difference between Unstoppable and maybe some of your competitors? Why would they go with Unstoppable? And are there competitors even out there?
Yeah, I mean, it's super early in this in this space. I mean, I think that the competitors really are VeriSigns, which own.com, and probably the social media companies like Facebook and Twitter, and they're the ones that really control your identity online right now, and they're the ones that are making all the money off of your identity right now. So like that's the real competition. And what's happening is that the crypto industry through domain names is going after these big giant markets. In terms of the blockchain domain world, the NFT domain world, that's a pretty small group. I'd say it's probably us and ENS, and ENS are the OGs. They've been around for 4 or 5 years. They're great. I think that probably the biggest difference would just be that for Unstoppable's domain names, you pay once and you own them forever. And this is kind of a security choice for you.
Sure. Awesome. Well, I've seen you guys in the news. It seems like every other week there's some big new partnership or something like that. Can you speak a little bit about the collaboration with Circle that came out just a few days ago? Like, what's the value that this adds to all your users?
So this is super exciting. This is decentralized Venmo. And I would say that, like, going back to the start of the company, like when we were first working on this company, we were thinking, how are we going to be able to build decentralized Venmo? And one of the problems is that if you want to send Bitcoin or ETH, price is changing all the time. So if I just want to send you $20 for dinner or something like that, maybe Bitcoin or ETH is not the best way to do that. And that's why we have stablecoins, USDC being one of the top stablecoins. And so the idea has always been, we want this to be kind of like your decentralized Venmo. Your domain name just works inside of every app. And when I say decentralized Venmo, current Venmo, you and I need to both download that app. We need to both use that app. We need to be fully connected, integrated, and then we need to find each other and transact. In the decentralized Venmo world, I just tell you my username. Doesn't matter what app you or I are using, because it works across. Like that's the power of blockchain, is that it enables this interoperability. So if you have USDC, which is one of the top stable coins, and then you add a .coin domain to it, like a Brad.coin, then you essentially have decentralized Venmo. You have the two pieces. I can send you dollars, digital dollars, and I can send it to a user. And it's not specific to any app. And that's why we're super excited about it. Circle's actually had this vision for quite a long time. They even had a consumer app where they were trying to be essentially this decentralized Venmo. I think that what they've figured out, and I think what we realized about this, is that you really want to create thousands of Venmos. Like, you don't want to just have one app that everyone has to use. You want to have this super competitive market, and you just want to have interoperability across those. And so that's what you're seeing here. You've got your USD, you got your .coin, you've got decentralized Venmo. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I love it. So kind of getting away from Unstoppable here for a second, but where do you see the crypto market in 5 to 10 years? Obviously, it has to do with your company, but I think a lot of people would want to know that from someone that's on the inside of the crypto industry.
So I've been following crypto since 2013, and it started out in this very narrow space. It started out as being currencies. That was really the only things that were happening, and we've slowly seen more asset classes pop up in the crypto world. There's been lending, and then there's been stable coins, and there's been NFTs of all types. There's art and trading cards and domains and all of these different things. And I think that just represents the digitization of assets in general. And it used to be that like all of your wealth was in dollars, maybe it's, stored under your mattress, or even if it's not stored under your mattress, your dollars in your bank account are still analog dollars being recorded digitally, but they're still analog dollars. And you have a house, and you store a bunch of your wealth in a house. And all of these things in the physical world are becoming less valuable as we go more digital, as we move closer and closer to like fully immersive metaverse. And NFTs and crypto assets are what the metaverse is made up of. Like, those are the components. So like people are asking like, what is the metaverse? Well, these are some of the ingredients. It's just that it hasn't all connected in yet together. We could see in the 1990s these hints, like we're going to have like press a button and groceries are just going to show up to your house. Food's just going to show up. We're going to have a lot of these services were contemplated and discussed, and you can see little hints at them in the 1990s. And that's the phase that we're at right now. We're seeing hints of this. I live my life in a digital world. My value is stored in a digital world, and I don't care as much about physical world. I think a lot of us in the crypto world are going to be buying houses, or at least spending a lower percentage of our wealth on houses than prior generations, because we care about all the digital stuff. I think that's where it's going.
Yeah, that's great. And then where do you see Unstoppable in the next 5 to 10 years alongside that vision?
So, I think your digital identity is just a piece of being part of that world. Like, you're going to need an identity that's not tethered to the physical world in order to engage with the digital. And NFT domains are a perfect tool for that. So I think that's how we kind of fit into the puzzle. But this is it's a pretty big thing. I mean, right now, most users on the internet are not storing their own data. They're not controlling their own identities. Those are mostly controlled by social media companies, or maybe email services, or whatever, phone companies, whatever else you might be using. All of that stuff is going to be controlled by the user, and that's going to open up a whole bunch of new possibilities.
Awesome. Well, those are the questions I had for you. Is there anything else we should really talk about, or is there anything else you want to say before we wrap up here today?
I think the way to tie it all back together is that you need some way to unite what you're doing online, some of these personas. So the way it works right now, if I go and I use Facebook, I store all my data with them. I'm trapped. I have to go and completely rebuild my reputation if I go and launch. If I want to go and use another app. If I control my own data, then I can log into 100 Facebooks easily, and they can all provide me a service. And I have all my stuff with me. I have my pictures and my contacts and my reputation, and all of this stuff just works. I'm not trapped by them. This is going to create this massive explosion of innovation, hyper competition. The quality of services are going to go way up for users, and because I store the data or I control the data, it means that I'm going to be the one that monetizes it. The reason why Facebook's $1 trillion is because they're selling our information and getting paid for it. And what if we had that $1 trillion? So like that's the future, is that we are going to actually be able to, if we're in control, we also get to monetize our own activities. We get to be the ones that get paid for our time, for watching ads, for whatever it may be.
Sure. Rather than
these outside companies. So I think that's the future. And we're in the present now, but we're moving forward quickly. If you want to follow along and check us out at Unstoppable Web on Twitter, you'll see the latest.
Awesome. Well, I will definitely include all the information to Unstoppable underneath the video. Brad, thank you for joining us here today. Awesome to talk with you and talk about big picture, what Unstoppable is doing and what crypto is going to do moving forward. Thanks.
Thank you.